I've realized over the past month that writing things down actually changes my brain. It's weird admitting this because I used to be so against to-do lists growing up. I was convinced it would stifle my creativity and make me work like an emotionless robot, going down the list, then going to sleep, down the list, then sleep. But what I realized is I was straight wrong. Lead on paper. It helps me do things I couldn't otherwise do. Not because I was incapable, but because I wouldn't try. See, the thing I've always struggled with is overcoming that feeling of dread in the moment right before doing something productive that's more difficult than checking Instagram, you know what I'm talking about. That uncomfortable, empty void of a feeling, like all voids, so rapidly gets filled with either productivity or wasted time. These most defining moments in a person's life are often overlooked, yet determine the outcome of every hour, every day, every month, a lifetime. Those moments with the potential to be the most fruitful are so often the most harmful, and a life beaten into normalizing these collective wastes of time ends collapsing under its own dead weight. The good news is these silent, momentous opportunities, as valuable as they are not hard to come by, and if recognized, can easily be utilized like an interception in a football game, instantly flipping the momentum. But even with my recognizing that, I found that even though I had caught that moment one day and ran with it, the next I had fumbled with an unlocked phone, more mindless scrolling. I had no guide to finish my objectives. I needed something to help me consistently capitalize on those moments as they came, so I ended up getting the one thing I always said I wouldn't get: a project planner. And let me tell you, it's gonna sound a little extreme, but it actually changed everything. Projects that seemed literally impossible were now attainable. I had been meaning to redo my rotting porch for a couple years now, but never actually mustered the courage to start. But because I had an end date and a defined goal, I just started. Even though I was nervous and more scared than I would like to admit, I got up and went to Lowe's to pick out the wood. Writing it down in a planner for some reason was the push my brain needed to assess those momentous moments of choice and choose to do the more productive thing, even though it was way more uncomfortable than a number of other easy things I could have done. All right, the final screw. Writing it down helped so much that I actually got the porch done a day earlier than I had planned in my planner. I was completely amazed, but I didn't know why this method worked so well. Like, what was it about writing things down that seemed to hack my brain almost? So I looked up a few things about what to-do lists do to the human brain, and what I found was really compelling. According to a study out of Florida State University, committing to a specific plan for a goal, it said, may not only facilitate attainment of the goal, but may also free cognitive resources for other pursuits. Once a plan is made, the drive to attain a goal is suspended, allowing goal-related cognitive activity to cease, and is resumed at the specified later time. In other words, if you have a plan, a daily to-do list of how you're going to accomplish a future goal, your brain can rest. That hardwired cognitive strain of not having a goal accomplished disappears because your mind knows that there's a definite time and place to make strides toward the goal. Without a plan, that cognitive strain is never relieved because there's no framework, time and place to get the project done, when the brain is wired to come up with a framework to get it done. Because according to the study, even when one is not consciously working toward a goal, the mind keeps the goal active in the unconscious, maintaining vigilance for opportunities to fulfill it. Therefore, it affects other tasks in daily life, making a person less efficient overall. For instance, when the participants in the study weren't allowed to plan for a goal, it caused intrusive thoughts during an unrelated reading task. The study cites that unfulfilled goals tend to persist in the mind over time, and one consequence of that is interference with performance on other unrelated tasks. In other words, your brain needs a plan in order to properly focus on other things during intervals of not working on the overall project. Without a to-do list, the brain is left to struggle on its own. I found what this study said to be so true during the past month for me. My mind was at ease throughout the day when I wrote down in the morning, pay water bill, read 20 pages, brainstorm video ideas, take car to shop, rip out deck. I felt completely immersed in every objective I was doing because I knew I was doing the right thing at the right time and everything else was gonna fall into place later. There was no guesswork or cognitive strain around when something would get done. My brain wasn't juggling all of these individual objectives trying to figure out a time to do it on its own. I had helped it. So there was just pure motivation in the moment of execution. The neuroscientist David Levitin supports my general experience when he said to the website The Cut, "I think this is really important, that you write down all the things that you have to do. Clear it out of your head so that you're not using Nero resources with that little voice reminding you to pick up milk on the way home and to check to see if you paid the utility bill. Get it out of your head, write it down, then prioritize things." Like I said at the start of this video, I never ever thought that a to-do list could help me feel less robotic and more human. But after following a to-do list for an entire month, I've come to better understand the irony of the human experience. Oftentimes, the thing that mitigates our most impulsive human instincts is the very thing that makes us feel the most human. The to-do list did that for me. It kept my impulse for easy satisfaction with every unlocked phone at bay and kept me focused on long-term goals that would have a meaningful impact on my life and bring peace to my mind. If you haven't already tried it, I highly, highly suggest it. Thank you so much for watching. I don't really know why this video took me like an eternity to create, so thanks for watching to the end. It makes me feel really good. Here's a couple of videos that I've made. If you want to check one of them out, that'd be cool. If not, that's fine. I just wanted to say thanks real quick. I never do this at the end of videos, so I feel kind of weird, but whatever.